Welcome back to SIM program on information technology applications in libraries. Today we are going to learn about library consortia. This is today's agenda. We'll be discussing on the concept of library consortia, its definitions, historical development of library consortia, objectives, features, need of library consortia, types of library consortia, advantages of library consortia, and library consortia in India, as well as name of some library consortia at international level. Now let us discuss what is a consortium. Consortium is an agreement or group formed to undertake an enterprise beyond the resources of any one member. So it's an agreement or group that has been created to undertake an enterprise beyond the resources of any one member. It's an agreement. Consortia means it's an agreement. So libraries today are dealing with more demands of services and facing challenges like the increase in the information resources, high cost of materials, and limited budgets. Library consortia are formed to help libraries get better prices by buying together for more users, increasing access to both print and electronic collections, and creating new services to meet the needs of the users. Over the past decades, electronic publishing and telecommunications have allowed library consortia to grow in both size and scope. The development of library consortia is based on a long history of libraries working together and is now also motivated by the need of offer remote users licensed access to electronic resources. The exact date when the term library consortia was introduced is unclear, but the idea of consortia as a partnership or association has been a long standing principle in librarianship. According to published literature, the concept itself is not new as it refers to the cooperation, coordination, and collaboration between libraries to share information resources. However, it was not widely adopted by libraries until the 1980s. A consortium or a consortium is a cooperative arrangement among groups, institutions, or an association. Consortia or consortia are typically formed to boost the purchasing power of participating institutions, expand access to resources, and provide automated services to its users. In simple terms, it refers to a group of organizations working together to support a service program by pooling material and human resources, offering more than what each organization or individual could achieve alone. Then, more elaborately, the concept of library consortia first emerged in academic libraries, which initially formed consortia to share printed materials. Today, academic libraries create consortia primarily to provide shared access to electronic resources over the internet, often on a statewide basis, a task too challenging for a single library to manage alone. By forming a consortium, libraries can purchase resources at more stable and reasonable prices. Now let us discuss what are the different definitions of consortia. COP in 1998 defines library consortium as quote, cooperation, coordination, and collaboration between the amongst libraries for the purpose of resource sharing. The consortia have also been defined as a series of resource sharing activities. the coordination, cooperation, and collaboration amongst libraries. According to Jallo, in the year 2000, he defined library consortia, quote, a library consortium is formal association of libraries not under the same institutional control, but usually restricted to a geographical area, number of libraries and types of materials or subject interest, unquote. It is also mentioned the association of libraries to having restricted to a particular geographical area or particular type of libraries or a particular subject group, they working together for the uh, making an association for the betterment of the users. So now we'll check what is the benefits of consortium. Through the consortium, the many agencies and stakeholders that will have the benefit. As far as for libraries is concerned, libraries will get more resources and they will have in the joint management with the coordinating agencies. And as far as publishers are concerned, they will also have in the benefit of more sale, more visibility, and wider reach. So the consortium it is benefited for both libraries as well as for the publishers. If you are discussing about the historical development of library consortia, it will start from 1876. After the formation of American Library Association ALA creates a committee on cooperation in indexing and cataloging at college libraries. In 1890s, we will have another development where the birth of shared cataloging and interlibrary lending. And ALA publishes an analytic cards as part of a shared indexing cataloging program in the year 1898. And University of California announces willingness to lend books to other libraries. And early 20th century, we witnessed the formation of union catalogs and cooperative acquisition. The first regional union catalog was established at the California State Library in the year 1901. The National Union Catalog begins offering printed catalog cards and galleys in 1901. And the first cooperative acquisitions program for South America, organized by Northwestern University during the period 1913 to 1914. And during 1930s, we witnessed the growth of cooperative cataloging and regional arrangements. The Great Depression stimulates cooperation, leading to dozens of new union card catalogs. And the corporate cataloging program established in 1932 with almost 400 US and Canadian libraries by 1940. So this is a growth you will find in the corporate cataloging during this period. Now we'll find the another developments during the 1940s and 1960s. Now, another development we'll be seeing during the period 1940s to 1960s, that is the post World War II, during the period 1940s to 1960s, the expansion of formal programs. The economic pressures and the growing scientific research, the post World War II lead to more formal, extensive, and expensive corporate programs. Another development, the Universal Serial and Book Exchange Incorporation, USBE, established in the year 1948. Over 125 consortia formed between 1931 and 1971, with more than 90% created under 1961. Economic pressures and the increasing universe of information drive the need for shared access and consortium development. And during the 1980s, we find the rise of mega consortia and the bibliographic utilities. There is a development of bibliographic utilities like OCLC, RLG, and WLN. In 1990s, in 1990s to the present, you witness the diversification and the competition among consortia. As mega consortia expand their service offerings, local and regional networks, diversity their services to compete, shared access to electronic databases become a significant offering in consortial environment. Now let us look the objectives of library consortia. The first one is develop cooperative solutions for the challenges faced by member libraries in acquiring, processing, storing, preserving, disseminating, and delivering information and library materials for the benefit of their institutions. Another objective is assist libraries in the consortium to pressure and achieve their own institutional objectives, provide a strong leadership and opportunities for innovation for the research communities, ensure the community has both physical and virtual access to the shared resources of all libraries, create a framework for mutual support, enabling members to develop individual and collective strength. Identify priorities for funding within libraries and be proactive in influencing national agendas for research support. Influence national agencies engaged in consortia purchase activities to ensure the needs of research and scholarship remain a priority. Publicize and disseminate information about libraries and their activities as widely as possible in appropriate context. Make appropriate responses to consultation processes and provide access to bibliographic records of all member libraries. And the consortia will implement a policy for better access to and provision of catalog records for serials, enrich the provision of machine-readable bibliographic records for print and non-print resources housed in member libraries, provide access to consortium holdings recorded in a union catalog to help locate information, supply metadata for the electronic resources accessible from consortium libraries. Features of library consortia: it allows organizations and institutions to share resources while maintaining the unique identity of each member library. That's the beauty of the consortia. The combined collection of consortium libraries help each member library support scholarly research for its users. Collaborative research and development in information and communication technology improve services and increase the cost efficiency. Staff development and interaction enhance service quality. Now let us discuss about the need of library consortia. The consortia become essential because of the literature explosion, limited finance, user demand, and professionalization are the reasons for developing library consortia. The one major factor driving the adoption of library consortia is the rapid expansion of literature. The vast and growing volume of information has made it impossible for any single library to be entirely self-sufficient. Library resources, which include a range of formats such as books, periodicals, research papers, and other materials, are growing exponentially, and libraries are unable to keep pace with acquiring all newly produced resources. Another important need is the limited resources, limited finance. The limited funding is another key factor driving libraries toward consortium development. Many libraries are struggling to sustain even core journal subscriptions due to the continuous rise in subscription cost, especially for international journals. Dear learners, the another need for library consortia is user demand. Information access needs vary among users. For example, students often seek books for educational purposes, while scientists and specialists require advanced literature in their research areas. And the demand of these researchers will keep on changing day by day according to the requirements of their research. Meeting these diverse needs within a single library is nearly impossible, as no library, regardless of size, can claim to be entirely self sufficient in providing the vast range of knowledge resources available. Additionally, user demands continually evolve, influenced by new developments and innovations always. Professionalization of library services has significantly impacted the growth of consortia. The evolving role of librarians shifting from gatekeepers of information to managers and the gateways to information has increased the relevance and importance of library consortia. Dear students, now let us have a look at different types of consortia. One is non-purchasing consortia. Here the focus on enhancing coordination and cooperation among members without collective purchasing. And another type of consortia is a purchasing consortia. Here the consortia are formed primarily for joint purchasing of information resources, especially e-resources. So approximately 90% of consortia globally operate in this model, focusing on collective acquisition to maximize access and reduce cost. Another type of consortia is overseas consortia. It involves collaboration between libraries from different countries to facilitate resource sharing and cooperation. Regional academic consortia is another type of consortia. This is typically established by member institutions within a specific region to serve a defined purpose, often related to supporting academic and research needs. Statewide consortia, it is also referred to as statewide networks. This consortia focus on serving libraries within a specific state, supporting resource sharing and often providing state-funded licenses for digital resources. Open consortia is another type of consortia. This type allows any member to join or exit the consortium as desired, promoting flexibility and inclusivity. In India, Forza and Indus consortia represent this model, providing member libraries with shared access to resources without strict membership restrictions. Another type of consortia is a closed group consortia. Here, the membership is closed group. Here, the membership in the closed group consortia is restricted to a particular affiliated institutions that meet preferred guidelines, fostering a secure, homogeneous network of resource sharing. CSIR and Indian Institute of Management Consortium are the examples of this model, where access to resources is limited to selected member libraries with shared goals. Centrally funded model. This model relies on funding from central agency or parent body, often providing resources to libraries at no direct cost to them. Shared budget model. In this model, member libraries pool funds to collectively afford shared resources, splitting cost based on usage or contribution. Centrally funded consortium model relies on funding from a central agency or parent body, often providing resources to libraries at no direct cost to them. The UGC Infinite Library Consortium, now it's known as a Shosh Sindhu, is a prime example with the funding from University Grants Commission and AICT and allowing member libraries to access their digital resources. The shared budget model, in this setup, member libraries pool funds to collectively afford shared resources, splitting cost based on usage or contribution. The Forza and Indian Institute of Management IAM consortia are the examples where members collaborate financially to maximize access to e-resources. Again, there are many models. One is published initiative model of e-journal consortia, where the publishers themselves initiate a consortium offering member libraries to discounted access to their publications. An example in the Emerald Full Text Library, where consortia members receive bulk subscription discounts on journals and other publications. Next is National Consortium. In the National Consortia, provide access to licensed resources under national-made agreements, often backed by government for our academic bodies. UGC Infonet Consortia, or now it is a Show Sindhu, it are the examples of national consortia, making range of resources accessible across the member institutions. And the international consortium, evolving libraries across countries, international consortium foster global resource sharing and collaboration. The International Coalition of Library Consortia, ICOLC, is an example offering a platform for cross-border access to shared databases and resources, often termed meta-consortia for their wide reach and cooperative structure. Now let us discuss who are the providers of this consortia. So there are publishers like chemistry.org, American Institute of Physics, Annual Reviews, APS, Black Bell, Botanic Cambridge. There are many publishers, so those who are Elsevier, Nature. Almost all the commercial publishers are the part of e-journal consortia. And what are the advantages of e-journal consortia? We already discussed consortia-based subscription provide access to a large number of electronic resources at a significantly lower cost. It ensures optimal utilization of funds and supports the development of digital libraries. And it improves library services such as current awareness service, selective dissemination of information services because of the availability of primary electronic journals. And it enables cost sharing for technical support and staff training. And electronic journals do not require physical space, shelving, or protection against theft. The consortia offer better licensing terms for access, archiving, and preservation of electronic resources, which would be difficult for a single institution to achieve. And the access of electronic resources through the library consortia is available 24 into 7. And the library consortia promotes cost efficiency without the need for significant economic expansion. So these are the major library consortia in India: eShow Sindhu, Forza, NKRC, IAM Libraries Consortium, ICMR Consortium, ISRO Consortium, Consortium for E-Resources in Agriculture. We will be discussing major features and the role of all these library consortia in the next class. At the international level, we will find the many consortium, those who are working successfully. For example, CARLE, the Consortium of Academic and Research Libraries in Illinois, Consortium on Core Electronic Resources in Taiwan, SANLIC, South African National Library and Information Consortium, CURL, Consortium of University Research Libraries, EFL, Electronic Information for Libraries, ICOLC, International Coalition of Library Consortia. So, dear learners, library consortia play a crucial role in addressing the challenges faced by modern libraries, such as budget constraints, rising cost of journals and other periodicals, and the growing demand of diverse resources. By fostering cooperation and resource sharing among institutions, consortia enable libraries to expand their access to both print and electronic resources, reduce cost, and enhance service quality. In our country, various consortia initiatives, including UGC Infonet Intest, now it become Show Sindhu, and other consortium have significantly contributed to improving access to scholarly materials and promoting collaboration across academic and research institutions. These efforts ensure that libraries can better meet the needs of their users in an increasingly digital world. So, with these words, I would like to conclude today's lecture. We will be meeting with another topic in the next class. Until then, goodbye. Thank you all.